Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day. It wasn't a bad day. Some of the Mag 7 was a little bit down, but a lot of things were popping, some great opportunities, and we're going to find the rest of them. How about that ADTX? I told you it would run 100% when it started moving, and we pretty much pinpointed it right there that it was going to start moving, and it did. So it's moving in the after hours too today, and we'll go over everything. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And let's get how about that GCL, guys? I mean, we went over that yesterday, well over 100%. That shell company, GCL Global, whatever. And yeah, that popped off the bottom. It was looking good. And that one ran over 100% there. So a couple great opportunities that we were looking at, some 100%ers, obviously, as usual. And we'll look and see what wants to run next. So here we go. Let's take a look at things. ADTX, let's look at it because it's moving tonight. It is up, it was up 4 cents and then it moved some more in the after hours there. Let me see what it says on here. ADTX. It says 8 to 14 and it is at 14 cents right now. And it's at what? 0.1442. So almost 14 and a half, guys. And it is cruising up there. So there's a 100%er right there for us. ADTX. And you know we were all over that thing. I mean, we've been watching it forever. And finally knew it was going to get moving, and I was saying it was going to be a 100%er once it started to move, and it's just getting started. So here we go. Let's look at the next one here. Good old JAGX. That one was cruising along today. It was up 9 cents and not looking bad. So keep an eye on that tomorrow for a little bit of momentum. Oh man, what is going on? What do I keep doing this for? Keep messing up my TrendSpider, typing in something weird, and then it goes to some weird screen. But here it is, JAGX, yeah, 90 to 107, and it's at 99, and it went right through that 50 right there, and it's looking pretty good to try to run up a little bit more. So keep an eye on JAGX tomorrow. Not a bad one right there. Of course, ADTX. How about that S dot? We've been looking at this thing. We looked at it way before it ran up. Laptop Travel had it on his list as well. I've had it on the list, and it was moving up 32 cents. It was over 10%, like 11% at least. And it did cruise $3 to 327. It closed at 316. Your 50s right there, 337, not looking bad. So that one got cruising. It's in the channel and should continue its way up there for good old S dot, SDOT. And how about SMX, another one that we've looked at, Security Matters. This was up 44 cents right here. We were looking at it not long ago. It did split back in January 15th and just kind of ran flat. It ran the one day, and then it's just been running flat, but it got in a good spot, and it does look pretty good right now. SMX, it was popped up today a little bit, but watch for it tomorrow for a little momentum. See if it can get over that 20 at 378 area. It's at 347. It got up to 360 today. So it's not looking bad to try to move up a little higher. And that is SMX. And how about that SYRS? That thing was looking pretty decent. Remember, we were just waiting for it to get set up here, and it jumped up on the 20 today. I was looking at it yesterday. You couldn't really tell. It had that weird look. But it did jump up there today and got into that channel. So keep an eye on this bad boy. It went 19 to 20. It's at 20. That 50's up there at 21. Then it can get moving. So that's SYRS. And it has to get over. I would say let it get over that 21 cent area, and it can really get cruising there. So we will keep an eye on SYRS as well, because that one's setting up and looking pretty decent. And how about that AIM, AIM? They have that something going on with the chicken thing, whatever it's called. The I forget what the heck it's even called there. I gotta look down here and see now. What the heck is it even called? Boom, combination AstraZeneca with the flu mist for the for what that avian flu. I couldn't think of it. The bird flu. I couldn't think of bird flu. That's what it's for. But there you go. AIM, they're doing something with that. And we looked at it before. I think it bottomed out there yesterday, or if not yesterday, more or less. Yeah, probably yesterday. Yeah, I would say so. Wait, today, Tuesday. Yeah, no. If bottomed out Friday. I'm looking at this thing like it's February 14th. That was definitely Friday, sorry. February 14th. It looked like it bottomed out there Friday at that 12 cents and today 13 to 14 and a half. We've been looking at this thing AIM. Keep an eye on this thing because it does look pretty decent and it does look like it can aim up real quick right there, especially with that bird flu and everything. If you go to the supermarket, you see like eggs are like $8 a dozen. It's insane. $10 a dozen, depending on where you live. It's pretty wild. So, there's definitely a bird flu problem clearly, and that would be big, big, big right there. So, I don't follow much news, but we just happened to take a look at it and see it as that thing was setting up, and that could be a big one there. So, it's one to keep an eye on. And again, I'm not a news guy, but that is one to keep an eye on right there for AIM. And how about OCEA? This bad boy is getting set up, guys. We've been talking about it, and this thing's about to get cruising. So, yeah, take a look at this. You'll be surfing this thing up because it's about 14. It did pull back to that 12, which was probably a really good bottom right there, to be honest. It came back to 12 on Friday. And it is, yeah, I mean, it is looking pretty good right there. So I would have to say, keep an eye on this OCEA. We've been watching it, and it's just getting set up here and looking pretty good. It's in a really good spot right there. It wants to curl out of that basement, and it does want to get cruising. So keep an eye on that. And that's CLEU. This thing's not looking bad. It was down like 1.5% today. It's down to 10 cents, but it is starting to make that curl up and make that base right there. We were obviously early as usual, and I think that like just under 10 cents is going to be its low right there. It's like 0.0970, and that does look like it's bottom for Clue CLEU, and that's that China liberal education. And I can't remember what what is it, DXF is the China large caps or something. What is that? What's that China large cap on laptop travel? I can't think of it off the top of my head. But that one looks like it like is topping out. I looked at it today, and it could be popping out or topping out right there. And these small cap China ones, they've been setting up, and they do kind of want to run right there. So keep an eye on them bad boys because they definitely want to get cruising. And you can tell a lot of them, we're about to hit some of them right now, and they are getting set up. But this Clue, we were looking at it before, and this thing was up in like it was. I mean, it was way up there. Before it came down, it was in the 790s, but it had run in the 290s for there for a while. And this is post split, but FXI, thank you. I was just waiting for that. FXI. So there you go, the China large cap. I was looking at it today. It got up into the top right there today, and maybe it runs up another day or two, but it does look like it's going to try to pull back a little bit. And so, yeah, we'll keep an eye as it, and it might not be a whole lot of pullback, but as that pulls back, them small caps like to go ripping, and them things are pretty set up right there. And like I said, we're going to go through some right now. So WNW is another one, and this thing's way down there. It was down 2% today, and that 20 is like hitting it. I would say keep an eye on this thing tomorrow because right in these positions right here is about where it likes to take off generally. So if they start moving up tomorrow and these China small caps look good, like some of them are starting to, they could just start popping off. We know what they do. We've pointed it out many times before and caught many big poppers on it. So WTO, another one. I'm telling you, this thing's trying to curl up right here, and that 20's coming down to touch it. So a couple of these are like looking really good right here. So watch these bad boys in the morning and see if they want to get cruising. Because like I said, it can be any day right now that they get rocking and rolling some of these. EJH, this one had run up last time they wanted to run up, and it was only like a day's worth. It was right in the beginning of February, February 3rd, and this thing started really cruising right there, and then it pulled back, but it made a nice base, and it does want to curl back up. So keep your eye on that EJH and this LICN. We've been watching this thing for a while on that big dip, and this thing wants to get set up, and it looks like it kind of bottomed out there today. So that point 0.0590, so right under 6 cents. Could be its bottom, and it's at about 6.5, almost 7 right there. So keep your eye on that LICN as well, and that's that lich in China, and we've been looking at it, and that thing's curling up. So you got a couple of them right there looking really good for them China small caps. So keep an eye on them bad boys, and especially that CLEU getting real set up there, and that LICN looking pretty good right there. So they're two that are basically getting set up. Maybe the clue has another day or so, but it's getting right there, guys. So I think it's making its base today. It's bottomed out and could get ripping. And that thing has some room. I'm telling you, that 20's way up there in like 240 land. So it's not even close. This thing, if that thing starts ripping, it's ripping. And so that's CLEU and the rest of them China small caps. OCGN, let's take a look at that bad boy right there and see what that wants to do right here. OCGN, like I've been telling you guys, it wanted to go up. Now's where we're about to see. I think it turns around and gets bullish. Exactly what I've been trying to say. It got up into that channel. Like I was saying, it bottomed out at that 64 cents. Now it got up to 76 today, opened at 72, it closed at 74, and that 50's right here at 79 cents. And I think it's going to try to run right up over that. And this chart's going to change around and end up becoming really bullish, is what it looks like at the moment. So we'll see if it plays out like that, but they could have something going on. And again, we don't look at much news, but it is looking pretty decent for whatever kind of drugs they have, whatever therapy. I have no idea. I know we probably talked about it before, but I don't know what the heck they do. And that's OCGN. So yeah, we'll see if this thing can turn around. And like I said, it jump up real quick right here, and this chart can change around. And then you got like a top all the way up there at like $1.20. So it could get cruising here. So we will keep an eye on this OCGN, see if it does want to totally get set up and run. That LRHC, the real estate one's just taking its time, but it is getting set up, bouncing around down here, giving you plenty of opportunity. You can see it, and it might not even curl through. It already tried one, two. Usually on the third time they try to do it, and it's right there. And maybe it tries to do it quick and doesn't make it, and does it a second time right there, or maybe on a fourth. But it's getting right there. LRHC to try to make that quick pop up. So keep your eye on that one. We've been watching that. La Rosa Holdings, and that's that real estate one. DVLT. This was before, I forget what was it called. Holy cow, I totally forget what it was. WISA, that was it. WISA. It was WISA until today, and now it's DVLT. Data Volt AI, so they changed the name a little bit, and let's see what it wants to do here, because it was setting up to be bullish. It's pulling back just a little bit right there. We'll see. I think it's going to stay over that MACD, just a little pullback today, a little more than probably a little, 126 to 109. That's where it closed, so it came down like 13%. It's hitting that line right there, and we could see it try to bounce back up. It could just teeter right around down here to get set back up. You can tell it's going to be bullish. It's not necessarily tomorrow, but you're going to catch a couple pop-ups on it and a little bit of movement on that DVLT, and that was WISA right there, WISA. And they changed the name, so that is what it was, WISA. Now it's DVLT, Data Vault AI, and we'll just watch it to see when it's ready to set up. Like Icon, ICON, this one's been running up. It's still in the basement there. It ran up yesterday, a little bit of pullback today. I think it had like a 2-cent pullback there. It went 34 to 35. It came down to 31, and it closed at 32. And again, not looking bad. Your 20 is way up there, 49 cents. And it is crossed through. It ran up some yesterday. It ran up to 38, not quite as high today. And we'll see. It should, if it pulls back a little bit, it's just getting set up and it's not ready to get out of the basement. And many of them aren't just popping right out of the basement from this far down. They got to be like right by the line pretty much crash to get out of there. So this one has some movement on it and can jump around. And that's ICON, the good old icon, but it did jump up a little yesterday and it will have some movement. This NIVF looked great yesterday. I remember this had bottomed out and it had that split. I said keep an eye on it. It was up over 10%. It was up 12% and then ran up in the after hours. I know that NIVF, we were all over that thing. 207 to 309. There you go. It closed at 289 right there. And that thing should be a runner tomorrow. So keep your eye on that. That was a beauty right there. And definitely called that one out and knew that was going to be running. So that was a great one. AUST, good old Austin Gold Corp. And this thing just a little bit of pullback. It had run up there. I think it's going to get caught up on the 20 when it comes down into like the 140 area. So keep an eye on AUST, maybe a little bit of pullback, and then it's going to roll up a little bit more. And these gold ones are going to look really good. I know that GOLD, that Barrick Gold, same thing, got up into the top, and it looks like it's trying to just pull back a little bit, but very well could possibly run up some more there. So GOLD, watch it. It looks pretty good today. And 1808 to 1842. It closed at 1838 right there for GOLD Barrick Gold Corp. So keep an eye on them gold ones because they're looking decent as well. And good old Buru, BURU, Nubaru. This was down 3 cents, and I think you're going to get a little more pullback on it. It was trying to cross through, and again, I think they get like 3 times before they really get through right there. So you got to keep an eye on them. But we'll watch. And AUST ran in the after hours. Yeah, gold's a great option right now. I'm telling you. So yeah, AUST. I didn't even look at the after hours price right there. It was up a little bit. Yeah, 3 cents, up 2% right there. So yup, keep your eye on gold. I'm telling you, it is very, very good. Laptop Travel, I know, has been eyeing up the gold stocks as well recently. So yeah, keep your eye on them. And like I said, Nubaru, BURU, just a little bit of pullback. It was trying to get set up right there. Let it pull back. It was like the second time it was trying to kind of cross up there and let it do its thing, bounce off that bottom line one more time, and it'll get crossed up next time. So it's not a big deal. It just needs to get set up. And like I've been saying, a lot of them do take like 3 times unless they just make that like 90-degree angle, generally on some good PR right there. So you can look for that, but I don't know if that's going to happen right there. It could just pull back, like I said, a hair and then get set up. How about UPS? It was down a little bit. It did run up Friday. It was. I keep saying yesterday. I mean Friday. It did run up there Friday, and it did get up to what 116, and then today it was in the 115 area. And it could have a little bit of pullback here, UPS, but it's hitting that line right there. And another one, let's see if it crosses through right here. It looks like it wants to, but a lot of them aren't doing it exactly on that first try. It's taking them 2 or 3 times to get through that MACD right there. So if they don't cross through, if they don't cross over, they definitely pull back in price. So if at this point, if you didn't catch it on the first run up, you definitely want to wait to see if it's going to cross through because then you can catch it up on that next pop. But if it hits it, you see how they pull back and they can drop down pretty good, and it's a good dip, and especially on an option can really hurt you. So you definitely want to make sure that you have um, you're not going dipping down right there. You're not hitting that MACD and pulling back. You're definitely going through it. So that's UPS, and we've been watching that, eyeing it up and seeing when it wants to go ups, and we'll keep an eye on it. And how about Elf? That was actually looking good, and that one kind of pulled back. It's still in the basement, but I'm telling you, this thing's getting set up. Just watch for that best price. I think that bottom was at 63.50, and I don't know if it's coming down that far, but I would watch any kind of pullback here. It's at 72.30, it looks like, right around there. Yep, 72.30, and yeah, it does look like it's trying to curl up. And Elf, it did get knocked down pretty good, and I'm pretty sure that bottom 63.50, and it's going to try to run up at least back up into the 80s, I would assume. So you could get a good $8 pop up on Elf Beauty. So keep an eye on that one because that looks like it's trying to get set up right there. So keep an eye on good old Elf. And AAP is I that's hilarious. I just put Apple in, and that's how we found AAP because I couldn't type in Apple, but I saw AAP dipping down today. It was down 330. We weren't even following this before, but I just started to actually because I messed up the other day. And remember, the earnings were coming up. It was getting set up. Now you're gonna have a nice dip and rip. And another situation, guys, where it was trying to get crawled up right there, and it's not ready. I'm telling you, they take like three times to crawl through. I'm starting to catch that pattern right now. So we can kind of watch them and know they'll run up as they crawl up that second time, but you got to get out of them because they hit that MACD and bounce back just like this is down 330 today. And it was up yesterday or Friday. It was up in the $49 range, and now it's in the 45s. 44, 45 area. So AAP is Advanced Auto Parts. And like I said, it is pulled back, but we will keep an eye on it because it will be good once it starts to curl up again. So I will watch that. I noticed it was down today. How about that ALLO? We were looking at it last night for to continue to run up there. It had that look, and I think tomorrow it might run up some more. So keep an eye on this bad boy for another momentum play in the morning. It was up 80 cents. It only pulled back like a couple cents in the after hours. ALLO, and it's like Allogene Therapeutics 213 to 379. It closed at that 295 area, and like I said, that it's looking good. It has some resistance there at like 306, so it can get back through that again. It would be really good, but it could get moving again tomorrow. It got into the top, and you know how they like to run when they get in there, so keep an eye on that one. That is ALLO. We looked at it last night along with SRM and said this one was going to pop up today into the top, and it did exactly that. It went up at least 25 cents there, which was like 30 something percent, 82 cents to 109. It closed at 92. So yeah, it ran way up there. And that one we looked at last night, and it looks like it still has potential to run up into the top some more. So keep an eye on this SRM again for another momentum play for a second day. And how about COEP right here? That was up 72 cents, and it's trying to curl up. And let's see if it can curl through. I don't know if it can. Again, it's right in that spot where they like to come down, but this thing's been a beast in getting into the top. So I guess it could. Let me look at it. It is. I mean, it does look really good, guys. So it wouldn't surprise me if it crossed through. Most of them probably wouldn't in this spot, but this one absolutely could. It wouldn't surprise me if it comes down a little bit too, and I mean not even much into like the 12s or 11s. It's in the 13s right now, and then gets really set up. But it has been running up, and obviously we watched it run way up there, and it's back up at like its all-time highs right here, and it has been a monstrous beast. And I know we looked at it's like a health AI company, healthcare AI or something like that. And yeah, it just keeps wanting to run up there. So COEP, I would look at it in the morning. If it can get into that top and get over this 1340, say 1350 to play it safe, if it can get over that, it could get popping right there. So keep an eye on it, COEP. I know we've been watching it there for a couple weeks now. Someone on Stock Twits likes it. I always forget the name of them, but they always posted up that and Buru. They were looking at that one as well. And like I said, that pulled back a little bit today, but this one, COEP, could get cruising up a little bit more. So just keep an eye on it. And how about that TCBP? That was up a little bit today, and that was looking good after that split. And we were looking at it, and it does look like it's trying to curl up. And Friday was its bottom right there at 203. And today it got up to 262. It looks like TCBP. Let's see, 267 it got up to. And the other day it ran up into the five. So this thing does look like it's trying to set up. TCBP, keep your eye on that thing because it is looking pretty good right there. And we were looking at that last night, looking good. CHSN is that Chanson one. CHSN, Chanson International Holdings. And this thing is, let me see, just kind of flat right there. It's been trying to run up, and it ran up today. I was gonna say, didn't it run up? But it I thought it did. Let me see. 48 to 51. It came back to 45, closed at 46. What it do Friday? It ran up to what, 52, and today it ran up to that 51, and it's just a little bit of pullback there. And yeah, it doesn't look too bad at all, I wouldn't say. It did pull back today. It's just flat in the basement. I'll have to look at it tomorrow, but it was moving around today. I know that. So we'll keep an eye on the CHSN. It's curled through the MACD, and it does look like the bottom could have been even Friday on that 43 cents. So we'll see if it wants to pull back any or if it wants to go up. We'll look at it tomorrow and see what that CHSN wants to do. It's been trying to set up there, so we'll look at that one and see if we can tell what if it wants to go up and pop. And HEPA, this one's getting to be in a good spot too, guys, where that 20 is about to cut it. So keep an eye on HEPA. I know we've been looking at this bad boy, and that 20 is at like 20 cents, and you're at 18. So you're right there, and it is looking pretty good for HEPA. So definitely keep an eye on HEPA, and it could have a day or so, but it is getting set up right there and looking much better than it was. I can tell you that. And how about that DGLY? Someone like that last night, and that was running up there today, and it is looking pretty good. It's in a good spot. I know we looked at it and it had dipped down. It ran up some today, and it does look like it's ready to get moving some more. So keep an eye on this tomorrow, 8 to 11. It closed at 10, and this thing is trying to get crossed through, and it's a real tight pop-ups, and it did it already once, twice, and this will be the third time. So it could get cruising right there. And that 20 end trend line are all the way at 23 cents. So that could be a good pop-up if it can get out of the basement. And we were looking at it last night, and it is trying to get set up even better. So watch it and see if it can get out of the basement, DGLY, and it will get cruising there. And how about that BZAI? It was down a little bit today. Well, down 84 cents. I was talking about this today on the small cap show. I don't know if anybody caught it. But I was on there today with the Wolf and them guys, and we were having a good old time on that show. And yeah, I'm telling you, them guys really do a lot of deep research on fundamentals, so they know what they're talking about when it comes to these companies. You guys know, I just look at charts and I don't. That's all I look at, and I just blast through them. But I was just kind of scanning around for some of the small caps before, and I know we looked at this one the other night. Yeah, last night, BZAI Blaze Holdings, and it did pull back a little bit today, but I think it was a little healthy, guys. So keep an eye on BZAI, and it is Blaze Holdings 520 to 565, and it came down into the fours. And like I said, it was hitting that 20, and it still looks pretty good. It could have just ran up and been a little healthy pullback right there. So we'll keep an eye on this thing. It just has some had 2.38 million in volume. What did I have on Friday? It had like 4.20, 420. So there you go. 4.20 million on Friday, 2 today. And yeah, it's got something going on there for BZAI. I don't know what's happening there, but we'll just keep an eye on it. How about that GCL? We were talking about it and ran up over 100% right here. And this thing looks like it could try to run up more. You have to make sure it can cross through. Let me see what it did in the after hours here. Yeah, it's hitting that line right there. And I mean, it did run 393 to 989 today. It closed at 659, but you know what? It's right under that 20, and it's hard to tell. It's trying to hit that MACD right now, and I'm not so sure if it can run up. If it can, it's going to get blasting off, guys. But I can't promise you anything. We looked at it yesterday. It looked good. I know that. We had it on the list, that shell company, GCL, and it's over 100%er today, but I can't promise you anything for tomorrow. So that was 100%er for us today. I'm not sure if it's going to run up even more tomorrow. Maybe it does early in the pre-market, so keep an eye on it early. You know how they run. So I'm not sure if these shell companies really run much in the pre-market, to be honest with you. I know we've looked at some of them before, and I've looked at them in the past, and I'm not so sure that they really move that much early, but who knows? Market conditions are so weird now, so you just never know. And here we go. Let's take a look. But yeah, that's that GCL, and that was over 100%er right there. ADGM. This one is called like Adagio, something like that. Adagio Medical Holdings. And this thing was trying to crawl up. It's up 5 cents in the regular hours and then another five in the after hours. That 20 and 50 are trying to meet up right there. ADGM. And it does look good. It got over to 50, 130 to 141. It closed at 139 and looks pretty solid for tomorrow, guys. So keep an eye on that one. Doesn't look too bad right there for ADGM. Looks like it's trying to get set up. And how about GNLN? Is that GNLN? Let's look at that one. Green Lane Holdings. That took a nice dip today, down 45 cents. Holy cow, GNLN. Very nice dip right there. And like ran up. What the hell did this do? It went 122 to 173, down to 70 and closed at 72. So yeah, it ran up there in the morning and then came way down. I wonder what happened there. I have no idea. And today it announced $25 million private placement price at the market under NASDAQ rules. So there you go. There's your private placement for GNLN. So actually, let's keep an eye on it because we know it'll get set up now that it just went into the basement. And yeah, we'll keep an eye on that bad boy after that dip because after private placements, they get set up to move. PW, that power right, it's still down here, still getting set up. And again, these things are taking like 2, 3, 4 times to curl through. This time it's looking a little healthier. It's trying to roll back up there again. PW, and we were looking at it just the other week and it ran up for us, but then it pulled back and it does look like it's trying to get set up again, but we'll have to make sure it gets through that MACD. And it is going to be bullish, but again, it's just a matter. That 20 is not too far away. It's at 120. This is at 117. It should try to get up there, but I'm not promising you that it's going to get through that MACD. And even if it does, it could get stuck in that channel of like 121 to 131, which isn't a bad thing. And then it can get popped up there to like into the 140s, 130s, high 130s, 140s, and actually move. So I'll look at it, PW, and make sure we know what it's going to do. But it has been setting up here, curling up. And again, they just take like 2 or 3 times sometimes to get through that MACD. And they bounce up. We know they curl. Well, as they curl up, they run. But a lot of times they'll hit it and take a nice dip down. So you don't want to be involved in it right there because they'll pull back quite a bit and you can get a great price, a way better price. Let's put it that way. So we just look for that. AUUD, let's take a look at that one and see what it wants to do right here. Good old AUUD, it was down 4 cents. It did run up last week and it looks like it's just kind of pulling back right here. AUUD. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow if it can get caught up on that MACD line, but it did pull back today. It went 49 to 50 down to 43, and it's under that 20. It could come down a little bit more, so we'll look at that one, see how much more it wants to pull back. PRME, Prime Medicine. This one's pretty prime to run up some more, I would say. It was up there 15 cents or so. What did it do? 289 to 327. It closed at 292 and it is getting cruising right there. It's closed right above the 50 and it's crawling up the 20s, crawling up to hit that 50 right there. And yeah, it is looking pretty good. It's looking prime medicine time, I would say. So keep your eye on PRME right there. It is set up, and that's going to be more of like a momentum play for you because it's already running up, but it is looking pretty damn good, I must say. So that's PRME and CETX. Let's look at that one. This is another one of them basement ones. We might as well make this one our next ADTX. We had ALLR and then ADTX that just popped out and went 100%. We'll make this one the next one, CETX, because it's way down here. So let's take a look at CETX. We may have to keep this one on the chart or on the list for a little while now. It got into the basement back here fully on September 30th. So it's been in here the whole time we've been doing the show. And they've had a couple splits in between. They've actually had 2. October 3rd, they had a split, and then November 26th, they had another one. And it looks like they tried to have 2 earnings reports in between there too. Yeah, they just had earnings yesterday, Friday. They did. So we have to keep our eye on this thing right here, and let's see what it's doing. What did it do today? Holy shit! Or was that Friday? No, that is today. It went like wild. Let me see this thing. CETX. We have to see what this thing's up to right here. It did run up 205 to 307, but then it came back down to 194 and closed at 196. And actually, I think this could be trying to get set up. And like I said, it's been in the basement for a long, long time. Let me take a look at this tomorrow. That's CETX. And we'll get a good grip on that one because that'll be a good one for our next one to keep an eye on. I guess we always have to have one that's dragging in the basement forever, and you know it's going to just be down there and running and driving you nuts. But then they get ready, they always run 100%. So this, I guess, can be our next one because ADTX just popped out today. So what timing for you, CETX, to get on our list? How about that? And so we'll do that one and take a look at it and see what it's up to because it has been in there for a while. CDIO, that cardio diagnostics, that one's pulling back, but it's not looking too bad. It's in that channel of pullback, so it's kind of like in that setup period. And the 20s down at 53, your 50s up here at 72, and we're at 59. So it had run up, it hit the 50. Now it's just pulling back so it can set back up. And that's going to bounce around as it gets set up there, CDIO. So there you go with that one. And AEHL, the good old antelope, AEHL. And this one looks like it's getting curled up again and could be running soon. Let me look at it better. AEHL right here. Had that little bottom looked at 11 cents today. Where was it there? Yeah, I would say it's like that dip and rip look on this thing, and it wants to run like an antelope tomorrow. So keep an eye on this thing tomorrow. AEHL, not looking bad. I would say it's trying to get set up right there, and it looks pretty damn good to me. It does have that dip and rip look to me, and doesn't look bad. Your 20s right there, 14 cents, and we're at 13. So. Not a bad one there, AEHL. I'll take a look at that one for sure, and we'll see what that's up to. And how about HUMA? Let's see what that's doing down here. That one pulled back and it's hitting that bottom. I think that might have a little bit of setup period just because of where that trend line's coming down. Let me take a better look at it and just take a. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be bottomed out there at that 370. We'll have to see that one tomorrow, see if it has any more pullback in it. And it could just kind of bounce up a little bit and then pull back a little and bounce around as it gets set up. Maybe even make a base down here in the 370s. So we'll take a look at that one, but that one will get set up. You can see it's probably like a week or two out, I would have to assume. They are moving super slow. So it's just, I was saying, it messes up my timing a little bit, but it will get set up right there. And I'll look at it tomorrow and check it out. It could be a bottom bouncer just for tomorrow, bouncing off that bottom line so it doesn't get into the basement right there. So I'll take a look at HUMA and see if it gets into the basement tomorrow. So let me just take a look at that one right there. And good old True Golf, TRUG, that one wants to tee off. It was up 23 cents. I know we were looking at it the other day. It wasn't quite ready. And I remember saying, hey, it looks like it's trying to bottom out. We didn't really take a great look at it after that. But I remember somebody added it to the list and it was down at like 30, 36 and a half, right around there was its bottom because I'm looking at it here. And I know it was right around that day. So it was looking pretty good to get bottomed out. I remember that. And like I said, we weren't really, I said I'd keep an eye on it and I kind of forgot the look. I know we like to say when it's going to tee off because it's a fun one. It's a golf one or True Golf Holdings. It's electronic gaming. I thought it was golf. It's electronic gaming and multimedia. Holy cow, they tricked me. Anyway, True Golf, I literally thought it was a golf one. You know how much I look at these things? I don't think I ever looked at it. It was old electronic gaming and multimedia. I just assumed it was a golf one. Anyway, who cares? And it is curling up there, hitting that MACD pretty hard. So keep an eye on it. It was up 23 cents in the after hours. So we might have one teeing off for sure tomorrow. Some more 40 to 67. It closed at that 65. It blew right through the 20 and the 50 right there with not even trying. And it even got through like its trend line there to 65. So yeah, that thing got cruising right there. And actually, I should take a picture of this one right here, True Golf. I'll have to write it down. Let me write it down because I was Finviz. I was talking to them, and they're like, "Can you give me an example of how the chart isn't set up?" I'm like, "Yeah, just watch my show. I point it out every single day." Well, there's one right there, True Golf. So yeah, they do. They show the price up in the right corner, but you got to show the chart because these things, the markets, and especially in the pre-market, it's the worst because the market's been running since 4 a.m. and it's like caveman times for them because they're just like lost in time, trying to start the charts up at 9:30 and starting the pricing up at like 7:30, but the charts don't necessarily start. They'll just tell you in the top right corner, oh yeah, pre-market or aftermarket it moved, but the charts stop. You can't. The charts have to keep going like nonstop now. The market just moves too much where they just can't be stopping like that. So I was talking to them and they had asked me before and I was explaining it to them. Said, like, yeah, can you send it? I'm gonna send them this True Golf right there. And yeah, it does show you in the top right corner, but I mean, you need that chart to be set up because as soon as I look at my trend spider right here, I can see easily. I don't got to look at a price. I know it popped up there in the after hours. It looks good, and it looks like it's going to have momentum tomorrow. So it's a big difference, especially when you're really trying to get accurate, pinpoint them candles. You know, some people just look at the charts like myself. I don't care about the numbers, the prices, the company name, or anything else. I just look at a chart, and that does throw me off a little bit. So just a little behind the scenes, and I'm trying to get them to get it to be fixed. It would be great because again, I love TrendSpider. I think it's the best. But I do like to have the two setups, like the two charts, different charts to know the setup. I've just always done it that way, and I guess I'm just not going to change it at this point in my life after doing it for this long. But the TrendSpider, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm in the Matrix with them things. You guys can tell. We can really zero in. I can see the setup well on FinViz, but we can really, really nail them down in TrendSpider, and it's way more accurate. I say it all the time, so maybe I'll just cut this clip and send it over to them because it's just exactly what you need. You need that chart to be set up, and then charts got to be running. I don't. They have to be able to do it. I mean, if they can do them from 7:30 to 4, they can easily do it from 4 to 8 p.m. And you don't need the overnight hours to be doing it, but you definitely need that pre-market now at 4 a.m. It's just way too crazy, especially for FinViz. It's such a big charting company and scanner company that they need to be up on the times. And like I said, the TrendSpider just kind of blows it out the water. They're just super accurate, and you can kind of change everything. And I have the paid service for both. And but yeah, just explain. I like to explain the charting setups and stuff. It's very important when you want to have the most accurate decision making right there and know exactly what's going on. That's very important. That's like having your sharpest tool. And so, any other job that you have, if you have tools, this is your tools and you want them to be sharp. So, that's why I explain it like that. And just trying to tell you how it works and what I see because yeah, I jump back and forth because again, if that candle was up and I could see it over that trend line at that 65 cent area, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's a beauty right there. And then I see it and I go, oh yeah, it's setting up. And then I look at the trend spider, I know it jumped up and I go, oh yeah, now I got to go back, look at it. And then you can see me when I do them in the videos. If you watch them on YouTube, I'll go back and forth because I'm like, oh yeah, that did pop up. Then I got to see where the price is up there over here and stuff. I don't really look at them like that. So just explaining the back end of how I look at things too. But it makes a big difference if the chart isn't set up like it is. And again, I don't think it really mattered that much up until more recently, really when things got crazy at 4 a.m. And now it's just like an entire day goes by from like 4 a.m. to 9:30. It's almost like a day went by. So it has to be set up at this point. And again, it's just kind of keeping up with the trends and the times. Anyway, that's True Golf. It popped up. And Story Trading, if you follow him, Ben, he's awesome. He does the shows on the small caps and a lot of them wolf shows. And he was talking about this as well. He was all about it. And we were just posting before the show. So shout out to him, Story Trading, and Ben. And like I said, Ben's really, really on point. Good dude. You can tell really down to earth. And like I said, I love doing them shows, just kind of listening to the guys that all they're just really knowledgeable about the companies and stuff. And you guys know I know nothing about it, but as they talk about them, I look at them, and there is a good one that we can talk about. TSSI. While we're talking about it, TSSI. We're gonna keep this on our radar, guys, because this thing, them guys are all hopped up on, and they definitely know what they're talking about. And apparently, they have some AI stuff going on with Tesla and Dell and all this stuff. I was listening to it all, but you know how much I get into the information part of it, but I knew what they were saying, and the chart's beautiful. I'm telling you, it's definitely bullish, and it's going to be going up. So we'll just find that bottom. It looks like it's trying to hit that line, could pull back, but I'll let you guys know. Maybe in the 13s, it's going to be perfect right there, and we will keep our eye on this TSSI because I'm telling you, it's going to be a beauty. And these guys are all about it. And I know when we all like something, like they say, you know it's going to be a home run. And they're like really long term about it. And I can just tell it's going to be going up. So it looks bullish to me, looks good. So we will definitely keep our eye on that for the bottom right there. And that's TSSI. So we'll keep that on the list. QNRX, let's get rolling here. That one was trying to curl up the other day. What did it do today? It's just making that base right down here. QNRX at Coin Pharmaceuticals or whatever. It ran up not long ago, not too much. And let's see, what's it trying to do here? 31 to 32. It's just kind of flat, but it does look like it's trying to get set up, and it made a base down here. It wasn't a good spot, ran up, and that 20 is right there. Maybe it's waiting for the 20 at 34 cents. So maybe it's going to meet that halfway and try to get jumping off of that. We'll keep an eye on QNRX and OST. I know we've looked at this one, Austin Technology, and this one is trying to get curled up. And another one, it's hitting that resistance right there, and it's in that spot where I'm not so sure. Actually, you know what? And again, here we go with the what it do? It had 265. No, it's sitting right there on that 20. Looking pretty good. It's hitting that trend line right there. And yeah, I mean it looks pretty good, but I don't know if it's going to cross through that MACD. It's in a good spot, but like I said, it has good resistance right above it. And I think it's one of these ones that hits the MACD, pulls back a little bit right there, and then maybe down to the 50 at 230 area, 240s, and then gets set back up the run up. Like I said, it looks like it's in a really good spot, but it's in some good resistance, and I could see it hitting that MACD and coming back. Just take a look at it. If it can cross through and bounce off of right where it's at, I mean, it's right there, like 265. If it can bounce off of that 270 area, it could get cruising, but I'm not so sure it can. I'll look at it tomorrow too because it's not looking real bad. OST. So we'll keep an eye on that one right there. And let's see what that CDT is doing. CDT is Conduit Pharmaceuticals. And that one's kind of dragging right down there. I know it pulled back, ran up, pulled back again, hitting that bottom 121 is that low right there for today. And it could be that bottom again. So we will keep an eye on this. This might get another bounce up. And it's been bouncing up and pulling back. So it almost has a little pattern going on. We'll see if it keeps the pattern. But it does look like it's trying to bounce off that bottom. It's done it a few times now. So keep an eye on CDT tomorrow to maybe get a little bounce action. And FAAS. So FAAS. Digi Asia Corp. And this one is actually trying to roll off that MACD and rolling off that 20. This one actually looks pretty good, guys. This one is up a penny today. And someone posted this one on the YouTube page actually and asked to look at it. And yeah, it's not looking bad. 57 to 64. It closed at 60. It just got up into that channel today, and it isn't looking too bad right there. We'll see if it can roll up there. It looks like it wants to. So FAAS, I would say that's trying to get set up right there. So we'll keep an eye on it. And let's take a look at our laptop travel list. I notice HUIZ is on his list, so we're just going to start with the last one right there, HUIZ. And let's see, that thing is curled up. Wow, that thing is really curled up there, huh? Holy cow. That thing looks like it should run. I mean, if that gets through the MACD tomorrow, that's really running up there tomorrow, guys. HUIZ odd in the after hours here. It looks like it wasn't going to. I was gonna say if that thing does, it would go nutty. I'm not so sure it will. Maybe I'm wrong. It went 322 down to 297, closed at 304. But that next time it tries to do it, it'll get crazy right there for HUIZ. We'll take a look at it in the morning and see. It's an insurance broker in China. So I'm not sure, but like I said, it has that crazy curl up today, and it does. It looks all wild right there. I have to see that one tomorrow. I definitely have to look at that thing. HUIZ, we have to see what that's up to right there. And like I said, that if it wants to pull back, it's all good because it'll be perfect and it'll get cruising. LGHL, the good old lion. I didn't go through JAGX and the rest of them. I knew Laptop Travel had the lion on his list, and it is looking really good right here, curling up, guys. So LGHL looking good. JAGX was looking good. Remember, we went over it like the second one. LGHL just kind of running flat, hitting through that 20 at 15 cents right there. And both of them are looking good. And the Cheetah, that was just kind of flat there today. And yeah, just basically really flat, actually. I know I looked at it. I always look at these guys, the big cats. 205 to 196, closed at 203. It did just cross through, though. So keep an eye on it. I think that bottom was the other day at that 186 for the Cheetah. And I think this one could get set up to get moving. So the big cats are looking pretty good. And RCAT, good old Red Cat Holdings, this is actually looking a little bit better to get set up. It did just cross through the MACD, popping down today, but that could be the bottom because it is hitting a little support line right there. So watch for RCAT to try to get set back up, and we can take a look at our computer hardware and quantum ones to see what they were doing. They were pulling back a little bit there, but they were like all over the place. So we'll take a look and see how they closed in a minute. Actually, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll look at Laptop Travels list, and then we'll take a look at them guys. So, and that's your big cats right there. And that was our cat, the lion. We had already looked at JAGX and the cheetah. UOKA. Let's look at that one right here. UOKA, and that's at MDJM. Remember, we used to look at this. That used to be like the stock ticker, MDJ something, and maybe it was an H. I know it wasn't the last letter, but I know we used to look at it, and I think it was like Scott was all about it, and it did. It popped up massively for us. I do remember that, and this thing is getting set up to be in a really good spot again, guys. So keep an eye on this thing. UOKA, I like it. Holy cow, that thing is looking good. We definitely have to watch that. It's set up in a great spot before and it popped up, and now it's setting up in a great spot again to pop up. So definitely keep an eye on UOKA. I hope you guys are looking at that one because it is definitely trying to get us that 20. Everything looks good on that thing. So that one's looking good. CYCC, let's see that. Cyclacel Pharmaceuticals, huh? That's an interesting one. A little bit of pullback ran up on Friday, and then it just pulled back there in the channel. Let it run in that channel, and then you know it's going to get set up there. It's crossed through and just running, so let it set up and it will get moving. TCTM, that's a TCTM Kids IT Education. And here's another China one for an education. This will tell you how they're going to be rolling too. We're about to roll off that MACD in the 20 and get cruising for TCTM. And now you know why we've been looking at them small cap China ones, including that what is it, CLEU, because that's one of them education and training ones. I bet if we pop these up and look at the China ones, because they do have a bunch of them. BEDU, I'll look at them real quick. There's a few of them real fast. I'll just take a look. I know there's a ton of them. So I'll just grab a couple real quick as I scroll down this first page. And like I said, there's just a lot of them. This one is IH and LXE. Yeah, there's a couple another page of them, but we don't need to, I'll just look at these bad boys. Ready? Let's look at these China education and training service ones. These things get rocking and rolling sometimes. They go a little wild. BEDU, Bright Scholar Education. And this thing's getting set up, guys. It's curling off that, like just making that hard curl up, and you can see it trying to get set up right there. BEDU. Yeah, that was running up today, 165 to 173, and that's where it closed. Keep an eye on that one. AACG, and that one was running up today and looks really good. So we're on to something, guys. AACG, that one's popped up 84 to 92, closed at 91 right there. DAO. And this one ran up 82 cents right there. And I think they even had earnings, what, the 20th, which is coming up in a couple days. This one's hitting a little resistance up there. It may pop up into the top right there, that DAO. And that one's looking pretty strong. Just be careful because of the earnings coming up, but it doesn't look bad. And that one is called like UDEO. And that one, these are all education and training ones for China. EDTK. And this one was up 3 cents, up two in the after hours, and it is curled up and looking pretty good right there. EDTK. So you kind of get the hint that these things are about to get moving. Why can't I type this in? TK, not KT. All right, yeah. 108 to 110. It's at 107, and this thing is curled up, guys. It ran up Friday to 114, and it does look really good. EDU, I'm very familiar with this one. I used to trade it a bunch of times. This one actually ran up. It was actually down 153 today. Where's it down at? I don't even see. I have to look on the other chart because I don't even know what the hell it's talking about. 55.74 to 55.80, and it came down to 53.10, and that's where it's at. I can tell on here. It is pulled back right there. Let me look at this chart again. The heck is going on? I don't even know what this is talking about. But anyway, who cares? It is just pulling back a little bit. It's actually in a pretty good spot, to be honest with you, where it could get set up and try to bounce back up. So I'll look at that EDU. Remember, I said I'm familiar with that one. The chart looks a little funky, but I'll look at it. And this FEDU is Four Seasons Education. And this thing looks amazing, guys. This thing is curled up today and running. It was up 49 cents. And it is FEDU, and it is up there. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's up over that 50 and the 20, looking good. So keep your eye on that as well. And how about IH is iHuman? And this one was run up just a penny, but it's looking pretty good to try to curl up a little bit more right there. Good old IH. Yeah, like had a weird look on Friday and then it went up today and it looks like it wants to continue its way up there for IH and LXEH. Let's look at this thing. I could never say that name, so I'm not even going to attempt it, but it was run up $1.26 today, up 14%, and it's up in the top, and you guys can look at it tomorrow morning. It says it came down a little in the after hours there. Let me see. LXEH. 917 to 1025, and it doesn't look like it came down to me. I don't know what Finviz is talking about right there. They're saying it's down at 991. This is saying it's 1025, and but their price, yeah, I don't know. Their after hours price says it, but again, their charts don't reflect it. This says it's at 1025. I'll take it and think that it's at, and it does look really good for some more momentum in the morning for LXEH. So that's another one. And MYND. This one's curled through and just kind of setting up. It's on that 20 right there. And out of all of them, I'd have to say this one's the least set up probably, but still looks good. Hitting that 20 at 128. It's at 122 and could easily pop up right there. So I would say keep your eye on them education China ones, education and training services like CLEU and the rest of them we just talked about, because I would say that they are looking pretty damn good, huh? And that's how you find ones that are going to be popping just like that. You just go through a sector and just rip them apart and see exactly what's going on. And that's what you do real quick. And we just did them. And there you go. So we'll be keeping an eye on them and seeing what they look like. Now we'll get back to laptop travels list. I forget which one it was. A TCTM was it that we were just looking at? Yeah, because that's that education one. And like I said, it is crawling up right there, looking back, looking pretty good. LXEH pulled back in the after hours, and so it did pull back there. XEH. So yeah. It did 993. This says 991, so that one is right, and the Finviz is right, and the other one's not. But again, they don't change the damn thing anyway because it still says it's at 1025 at Finviz, so they just tell you a price in the after hours. So it still is. I guess the price is more accurate, but the chart's still off. The other one, the Trend Spider says it's at 1025 too. So. I don't know why, but it does, and there you go. But that's LXEH, and again, it's run up into the top there. Just see if it can stay up there tomorrow. And but yeah, them education and training services in China, they are looking pretty solid, I must say. So we'll get back to our agenda here. We went a little off course. Easy Go. I think that's a China recreational vehicle one. There you go with that. And that's curling up. So Easy Go looks like it wants to get going. So keep an eye on this one, EZGO. And it did just cross that 20 and can run up to 50s all the way up at 65 cents. You're at 51, and it's not looking bad right there. So keep an eye on EZGO. It's another China one. I'm telling you, small cap China ones are looking good, guys. So keep an eye on these bad boys because you know once they start firing off, they get a little crazy and they do it really fast. But they can get really wild. You know that. We've seen them do it before. FLYE is an auto manufacturer in the US, and this thing's not looking bad either. It's trying to get in a good spot right there, curled through, and I would say this looks like it wants to get flying. So yeah, keep an eye on this FLYE. See if it pulls back a little bit, but it just crossed through. It's right there on the 20 and 50, looking good. I like that fly. So that does look pretty fly right there. So we will keep an eye on that one. And YYAI. Oh, that's Iconic Sports Technologies. And this thing's curling up right here. It was up 12 cents to 57. And it is trying to get curled up and moving again. So YYAI. And that does look pretty good. Maybe that will get running back up to that 89 cents. It's at 58 right there. So keep your eye on that. It has that resistance there at 79. So if it can get through that and then get up into the 80s, it can get cruising. But let it get through that 79, 80 cent area. And again, it's at 57. It did jump up 12 cents today. So that got moving 47 to 60 at 58. And that's YYAI, not looking too bad. And it is running up there. And that was up at like $5. I think that one has split a few times. Yeah, it split back in July, and I think it split before that. So that one had split a couple times. I'm familiar with that one with YYAI. I remember they had changed their name. I forget what it used to be or their stock ticker or something. And then yeah, it split a bunch of times. So that's that. But it is set up right now, and that's all we care about. And that's YYAI and HCTI Healthcare Triangle. This one ran up not long ago, and it ran up. It looks like today actually. So it did pop off that bottom. HCTI. Let's see. HCTI, yeah, 55 to 98. It closed at 69. And this thing's been running up, guys. Take a look at this thing tomorrow. It's been running all over the damn place. So keep an eye on HCTI. Has a lot of movement right there. So not looking bad. And QMMM, this thing, Q with three M's ran up today. It was curling up and looked really good. So keep an eye 70 to 88. It closed at 78. It's just in that channel and maybe it gets back over that 50. That's at 80 cents. So see if it gets over there, but that one don't look too bad. Ran up today. PRSO per ASO. That's a semiconductor company in the US, and this thing's kind of curl up. Does have some resistance up there at 101. You're at 93. But it does look like it's trying to curl up right there. It's in that channel. That 20's at 90, and it's hitting that 50 at 99. Like I said, it has a little resistance above it, but it does want to get cruising right there. So keep an eye on that one. And here's the chart for PRSO, and you guys can take a look at it. Laptop Travel just posted it up there. So there you go with that one, PRSO. And like I said, semiconductor, and it's not looking too bad right there. And let's look at ZONE, that zone, and let's see. Like I said before, it was trying to get in the zone. It's getting there, guys. This thing's about to take off. So look at ZONE because it's looking good, good, good right there. It's in the zone and it wants to run. So keep an eye on that. And good old Ray, he was running with Dave. Yeah, remember Dave this morning? I said Dave was going to run it, pull back, but it was up this morning. I actually posted it was up like $2. It went 118 to 2 or yeah, 225. 118 to 125 and then it pulled back to like 114, but it did close at 118.44. So it closed over where it opened, but it did pull back there. I did see it pull back, but I saw it run up big this morning, and we were looking at that and Ray and said both of them were going to go for a morning jog. Ray was up a little bit today too, and then pulled back a little bit. Let's see what his prices were. 125 to 129. He came back to 119, but closed at 126 and not looking bad in that channel. So, but yeah, Dave definitely ran up there this morning, and we knew he was taking a morning jog. We even said it. ORKT, that's that orange cloud, and that looks good. Remember we were talking about keeping an eye on this to set up? Well, it's right there to set up. So keep your eye on ORKT, looking good right there. And HKIT, let me just look at ORKT. I even put it in the other one. Oh, hold on. ORKT, let me look at it real quick here. Oh, yeah, your money right there. I would say you're running up right there, looking good. And HKIT, High Tech Global. This one bounced off the bottom down here at like 115. You're in the 131s. And it is getting set up. I don't know if it's going to be running up tomorrow. It's in that channel right there, but it is a setup right there. And CDTG, CDT Environmental. And this one looks like it's trying to get set up. It's making a base on that 20, maybe a little bit of pullback real quick. And let me see if I can type it in right. There we go. CDTG. Yeah, it's just riding that 20. It's been trying to move. It hasn't been able to move yet. So we'll take a look and see if it wants to. And here's that UONE. I'll post that one out. Here's the chart for that one. Laptop Travel posted that. I just tweeted it out, and that was up 5 cents. I know we were looking at it last night and liked it, and it is moving up there. UONE, and it went 140 to 149. It came down to 134, but closed at that 144. It's in that channel. That 20 to 50 is right up there at 150, and it is looking pretty good to stay in there and get moving. And then you have some resistance up there, like 157 area. So keep your eye on that. Urban One can get moving a little bit more there. And let's take a look at LOBO, Lobo EV Technologies, a China one, and just kind of pulling back a little bit, but it's in a great spot right there. I definitely have to look at this one tomorrow. LOBO. Yeah, just had some pullback today. Not sure exactly why, but I would like to look at that tomorrow, so I'll take a peek at that. And GV is like a visionary something, visionary holdings, and this thing is trying to get set up. As a matter of fact, Laptop Travel, I saw this on my scanner today, just messing around. And so there you go, 177 to 179. It closed at 178. That 50's right there at 182, and it is looking pretty good. It was just a little flat today, but I did see that bad boy, and it does look pretty decent. And how about CJET, CJET? And that one wasn't looking too bad. I don't believe it was up 4 cents. And I saw this one as well, and it was curling up, and it's between that channel right there, CJET, and your 50s up here at about 193 or at 179, and it looks like it's trying to get up there. So keep your eye on CJET and good old ICU, C-Star Medical. Let's see, that thing looks like it's going to curl up. Remember this thing? We had a big old pop on this in the beginning of my show when I started doing the show, and a lot of people hit that. And this thing is getting curled up in that channel. The 50's up there at 196, and it's trying to curl up and bounce. So keep an eye on this ICU. It does look like it's trying to revive itself. And HIHO, good old hi ho, Hi ho to Highway Holdings we go. Let's see. It's crossed through, trying to run up, and it hit that 50 right there. Not looking too bad, actually. Yeah, I would say just trying to get into that channel. It ran the other day, last week, Thursday. It ran up to 194. It's at 188, and it's trying to keep itself up there to move. So we'll keep an eye on this high ho and the Highway Holdings in Hong Kong and see if it can keep on cruising down the road, and we'll watch that. DSY, that's Big Tree Cloud Holdings. We haven't looked at this in a little while. It's another China small cap. It's at 214. It was running up today in a good spot and looking pretty good right there. DSY, keep an eye on that. 185 to 218. That's where it closed. And that one looks pretty solid for a little run up tomorrow morning. So keep an eye on that. And STRR, that one's running up as well. It's like Star Equity or something. Let me look at it. Star Equity Holdings, that's what it is. And it was run up there on Friday. And let's see what it's trying to do today. It was Friday, it ran up to 223. It looks like that's where it closed. This morning, 210 to 220. So I guess it did pull back a little bit, but it's not looking bad. It actually looks pretty solid, I guess, after that 3-day weekend. So STRR, keep an eye on that. Star Equity. And IMCC is a IM Cannabis Corp. And I'm not even sure that they do anything with cannabis anymore. I kind of think that they changed or something. I forget. We talked about it before, but it is curling up here. I know we looked at it before because it was popping up, IMCC. And it's in that channel, and it is getting set up, guys. That 50's down here at about 223, and or your 20's down there at your 20's at 223, your 50's up there at 234, and this thing's at 225, just bouncing around, getting ready to set up. You can see your 20's crawling up for your 50, and it's going to drag it up and get popping. So keep an eye on that throughout the week and into next week possibly. And ASTI. Let me get all the letters there. ASTI, Ascent Solar Technologies, and this thing is curled up and moving up the last few days. ASTI. Keep an eye on this. It just got into that channel where the 20s it's 235. This is at 239. It can run up to that 259, and it did. It just ran up the last few days, so it could pop up a little bit more tomorrow and then see a little bit of pullback. But again, it'll be in that channel to get set up. SNGX, let's look at that, up 5 cents right here. And that thing's curling up as well on that 20, hitting some resistance right there at 247. You're at 244. Let me see what it's doing in the after hours. It is 244 right there. And yeah, it's just hitting a little resistance, trying to get pushed through. We'll have to see tomorrow. It doesn't look bad at all to try to push through it. Has to get up over this 248, and it could get popping. Maybe you see a little bit of pullback there, but SNGX, we'll keep an eye on that one. And CASI, let's look at Cassie Pharmaceuticals. Oh, this thing's getting to be on a good spot right there on that line. It's been bouncing around a lot, but that 20 just came down for it. Maybe it pulls it up because it hasn't been able to move. So let's take a look at it and see if it finally can run up to that 277. It's in the 250s right now. And let's look at NEHC, New Era Helium. We've looked at this one. It was popping up. Oh, that one's getting ready to rock and roll some more. It was up 35 cents today. NEHC, and not looking bad. 254 to 280 at 265. And that 20 right there is at 272. So it is trying to crawl through it and get rolling. We'll keep an eye on that. XOS. Let's see, XOS is XOS Incorporated, and it's a farm and heavy construction company in the U.S. And this thing's trying to get cruising too, guys. Has to get through that 329. It's at 317. And there you go at XOS. It is in that channel and wants to get up to that, like I said, 329, 330 to hit that 50 and get set up. So that is XOS, Farm and Heavy Construction. And there you go for your laptop travel list. Pretty nice list right there. Bunch of them seeing some positive momentum on that XOS, so I'll tweet that out right there. And let's take a look at our Jolie's Jams real quick. That Agrify was just kind of down today, but it's getting set up, guys. See if it can pull back a little bit, even like into the $23, $22 area and get really set up. So AGFY. I think that's going to try to get set up. It might take a few days now, but it's right about there. And good old Blink was up a penny, and I think that bottomed out the other day, February 12th, at that 92 cent area. And we had looked at that already. It's just kind of making a base, but it's trying to curl up and looking pretty decent for BLNK. And good old Sezzle, SEZL. I'm telling you, I wish they had options. It's up another $7 today, and I was telling you that in 250 land, so it's up over $100 right there. And STRL, good old Sterling is down making a base, so we're going to watch it to get ready to rock and roll when it's ready. And Rivian's been running up, and we liked it yesterday, and we like it for tomorrow too. I think you're going to run up some more. Symbiotic SYM was up 75 cents, and this thing's trying to get curled up now. See if it can get cruising. It is getting into that channel. The 50s down there and your 20s up above it, so we'll see what the deal is with that. And there's your Jolie's Jams right there. And let's go ahead and cruise through our spy and everybody else. We'll hit crypto and see what you guys want to see. So let me know if you want to see anything that we did not look at yet, and I'll take a look at it. Here we go. Let's look at our spy real quick and see. It's up $1.79. That thing was all over the place today, guys. When I was doing a small cap show, it was crashing down as I just hopped on. It was like going down to that 608 area. I was like, wow, this thing's dipping down. And then it closes at like 611. So pretty wild run there today, and it did curl up, and things weren't looking so bad there. So let's run through our Mag 7 and our big caps. Apple AAPL, it was down like 13 cents, but it seems to go up in the after hours, it looked like. And again, things were popping back up, looking a little better at the end of the day. So we'll see how that opens up tomorrow. And Amazon, let's see what AMZN's doing right here. Amazon down $2. Remember, we thought it was going to pull back. It was hitting that 50. I didn't know it was going to pull back this much, but let's see if that's going to pull back anymore, and we'll catch that bottom because it'll be a good one when it's ready to bottom out there. Amazon and Google was pulling back a little bit, hitting that line right there, kind of just basing out. So we'll see when that gets ready to try to curl back up for Google. And Meta came way down, guys. It was down like $20 right there, and another dollar in the after hours, and it is almost coming out of the top. I want to see if it crosses through that MACD. It's really going to come down, and we'll see how far it can. But I did think it was topped out there. I was actually surprised when it ran up Friday as high as it did, so we should have known that was that top when it jumps up like that. And yeah, it was pulling back quite a bit there today for good old Meta. And Microsoft is getting set up, guys. So keep an eye on this one. It was up $1.21, and Microsoft is looking pretty good right here. So I think Microsoft's going to get moving. So keep your eye on Microsoft. And the video was up a little bit today. It was jumping around. They have earnings coming up. It looks like February 26th. I didn't even know that. So at the end of the month, that's right. We did talk about that before. I believe when they were all the other ones were having earnings, they were at the end of the month. And so it is run up there, and we'll see. I don't know if it's going to keep running up there tomorrow. We'll have to take a look. It could be topped out for right now and then get set back up for NVIDIA. And good old Tesla was down $1.71, and this thing's just set up here. It's got a big setup. Maybe that bottom's still going to be that 325 area. We're in the 350s. It's just kind of flat. I think it is, and it's going to get set up. But watch for any pullback, obviously, any dip and rip situations, because they like to do that. And that's good old Tesla right there. Now let's rock and roll through our big caps. We'll look at crypto and see what you guys want to see. So here we go. Let's roll through AMC and see what they're up to. AMC was up another 15 cents, actually looking pretty good to try to hit in that 50. They have the earnings coming up on February 25th, which is next Tuesday. So keep an eye on AMC because that bad boy could get cruising. Like I said, it's hitting that 50. If it can get up there, it'll get up to that $4 area, and we'll see what it wants to do. Let me see in the after hours what AMC did. Yeah, it's hitting that 50. Let's look. We'll look at it tomorrow and see if it wants to get through there. GameStop was moving up today, and then it pulled back. So what did that do? It was running up. I know that 27.28. and then it went up to 27.59, pulled back into the 26s. So came down a little bit. And so we'll see. It's on that 20 trying to roll up there. So we'll keep an eye on GameStop. Oh, Chewy was run up there. I'm sorry. I got Chewy and GameStop confused. Chewy was the one that was run up today. And GameStop was pulled back a little bit. I'm sorry. That was my bad. But yeah, Chewy was up there. I was looking at GameStop like that doesn't look like it ran up. Chewy did 37.90 to 39.09, and then it pulled back to the 38.10 area, but not looking bad for Chewy. I'd say this one actually looks kind of pretty good right there. And that Unity one was up 31 cents. It looks like it's hitting some resistance, but tried to cross through. We'll have to take a look at it. They do have earnings coming up on the 20th on Thursday. So we'll look at that. I think it might be pulling back a little bit as it hits them earnings, hitting that resistance to get set up. And that is you. And let's take a look at Netflix because this has been an animal, but it was down $22 today, hitting that line. It did pull back out of the top, so we'll see if it pulls back much more and comes back under 1,000 because that's where the 20 is. So we'll see about Netflix and see what that wants to do, but it did pull back right there. I mean, that was way up there anyway. And AVGO was pulled back 451. Looks like it's trying to pull back a little bit more. We'll see if it comes down in the 220s, the lower 220s right there. MU and these other guys were all up. MU was up $7, hitting some resistance right there. If it gets through, it'll get cruising. So we'll be looking at all these guys in the morning just to see exactly what they want to do. TSM, that was down, but that one's going to get set up, just pulling back a little bit. SMCI is a beast. Remember we were saying how set up it looked? It was up almost like what, $7, $8 today, and then another dollar in the after hours. So SMCI, what a monster that just became. It got up to what, $58 today. It's at 58.15 right now. It opened at 49. So yeah, it ran up quite a bit today, and it's been running up. We were looking at it in the 30s. So there you go with that bad boy. That was a beauty, SMCI. And AMD's been looking good up $1.18, and see if this thing can get running up. It's hitting the 20 right there, but it's getting to be in a good spot. So this could get popped up there, AMD. So we'll keep an eye on that one, see if it can roll tomorrow. QCOM was up $1.41, and that thing's trying to roll back up some more. So keep an eye on it. It's making a hard curl up. Make sure it gets through that MACD, and it'll get popping some more for QCOM. Intel got nutty, and that was up quite a bit, up at like 379. Intel INTC, we liked that before 2468 to 2788, and it closed in the 27. So that one's in the top. I'd watch Intel to see if it wants to run up some more tomorrow. I think they had some crazy news. I forget what was going on. There's too much to look at, but it could have been like Broadcom and somebody liked it. I forget what the hell was going on, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, it definitely jumped up on some kind of news right there for Intel. And PayPal's getting set up, guys. It was up 65 cents, and this thing looks like it's curling up. That bottom was right around that 75. I'll tell you, it was at 75.30, and you're in the 78s right there. So PayPal not looking bad. PYPL. Snow, this thing went up $5. Remember, we were talking, it was about to have a blizzard again, and boom, there you go. It ran up, and it does look good. It wants to run up some more, I think. So keep your eye on it. It has some earnings coming up. Got to be careful on the 26th next Wednesday, but it does look like it's trying to roll off that MACD and go up higher. Right there, just watch for any pullback on Snow, but not looking bad. And Dell was up today, too. Dell was cruising right along. DELL up almost $6. And that looks like it wants to run up some more. So keep an eye on Dell tomorrow because that could be a pop upper, more pop up for DELL and PLTR. Good old. This thing's just a maniac, Palantir. I mean, it just keeps going up. It was up another $5 today. It's in the top, just keeps running up. And it's just a monster, guys. So that one keeps running. And Sophie's setting up to run up higher. So keep an eye on that one as well. And good old Marrow is down, and Riot was down. I mean, crypto just getting crushed right now. with all the scams and the nonsense, and we'll talk about that as we get into crypto. But yeah, Mariah, even MicroStrategy down, and that thing, like I said, was getting really set up, and then all this stuff gets crazy. Oh, it was Broadcom and it's Taiwan Semiconductor are potentially weighing independent deals that could split and battle chip maker Intel. That's what happened today. It popped like 16%. And we remember we were looking at that chart, looked pretty good. And so yeah, that did pop up. MicroStrategy is down. CLSK, it was down. And like I said, these miners and all the anything related to crypto is getting destroyed right now with all the scams. DJT is down, and even Fun was down a little bit, but that one still has potential to run. It's still getting set up. That Mountain was down like 457. That one came way down. That one's gonna have to hit that bottom line right there and try to bounce back up. I don't know what Val did, but they screwed up this winter. And McDonald's is pulling back. It was in the top, now it's pulling back down. And Boeing's been setting up, and it's just kind of making a base right here to try to run up a little bit higher. It's into 184. I wouldn't doubt if it gets to like 190 area, and that's Boeing, BA, and space was actually up, but it's been down so much. But it just popped out the top, out of the basement and running up. It's at like 457 area. So keep an eye on SPCE there. It is hitting that 20, but it isn't looking too bad. And it was way down. I mean, it's been beat down a lot. Good old IBM, guys, looks pretty good. That one looks like it's going to get into the top and then possibly pop up there tomorrow. Keep an eye on IBM. And Disney was down 82 cents. It's just getting set up. It wasn't ready to curl through, so it's going to take that next time. Oxy was up today. That was up 78 cents. And remember, I said these bad boys were setting up. This and ExxonMobil, that was up $1.90, and they're looking really good right now. So keep an eye on them. Nike was up 455. Remember, we did like that, and it's been popping up. And DXYZ, that Destiny Tech is just kind of based out right there, going flat, and looks like it'll stay flat right there. So there you go with your Mag 7 and your big caps. Let's look at our crypto real quick. Bitcoin's at like 95,000. Ethereum's at 2,665. Ripple's at 253. And Solana's at 168. Doge is at 25. Cardano's at 74. And Link is at 1763 right there. So there you go with some crypto prices. Let me take a look and see what their charts look like real quick. Here we go. Let me take a quick peek because they are getting beat down, and we'll go over that real fast. Let's see. Bitcoin is, I mean, it's just right there. You could tell something big was happening. I still think they're going to be bouncing up, but they did take a beat. And I mean, they were getting ready to cross through, and they just came down. Bitcoin's just kind of down. I mean, they all look the same, to be honest with you. They were about to cross through looking crazy, and then you got some scams coming out, and then they're all pulled back. Looks like Sol's actually going to ride off that 30, hopefully not get back anymore. And yeah, we don't even have to really look at many. Ripple's at 255. And like I said, they're just all need to be reset up now. And we can just kind of talk about that. Yeah, Ripple was crossed through. Now it's coming back down. There's none of them that really look real hot at the moment. And that is the craziest shit that ever happened. Apparently, Solana was involved in that whole Libra scam stuff. There's so many scams going on with these meme coins. What did we talk about? I did a whole 45 minutes on it last week and did the whole state of the meme coins and discussed exactly all these scams and everything going on. It was all inside the company. And I basically spelled it out last week before any of this even happened. Listen to that 45-minute show again and listen to what I said. And then look what's exactly going on right now. And Portnoy's out of his damn mind. He's going to end up in jail because that dude just keeps pulling right. He's like creating his own coins on the air and then just rip and then just like he doesn't understand what that you can't do that stuff. Like that's actually illegal. And it's crazy what's going on, guys. So you got to be really careful. Like I said, if you just want to trade, that rigged is up there. I would just even trade on that and just wait for the dust to settle. I'm still all about ETF 500. The dust will settle. These things, people will realize that you can't jump into these overnighters like I was saying before, and uh, and the ones like Farcoin did before. The real communities that actually buy these things up and stick with them and build them, and they make a bunch of money together. They're the ones that are gonna work. Not when some dude like Portnoy's pumping it up and then like 10 seconds later pulling the rug and he's making a couple $100,000. Yeah, guess where all that money just came from? All your listeners that you just rugged. I mean, it's insane what's going on, guys. So don't get involved in any of that chaos because it's definitely chaos right there. And yeah, you got all kinds of shit going on. So just be careful in the crypto world. And again, I did the experiment so you guys would see it. And yeah, he kind of says that he's the most open and honest person. But what he didn't say is that during the whole Libra thing, he was taking $5 million in coins on the backside, and he didn't tell anybody about that until it all got exploded and he got scammed. Then he came out with it. He was big part of the scam too, trust me. And he's scamming people. They're all scamming each other. It's scammers scamming scammers. It's great. It's fun to watch, to be honest, if you just sit on the sidelines and watch it. I'm telling you, I pointed it all out last week and told you guys exactly what was going on. And listen to the show; it'll tell you exactly what's going on. And that was a week before I did the experiments. I know, and that's why I told you I believed more in the ETF 500 after that. Of course, it's going to be down after Solana's way down. Everything on that network's down, and we'll have to see what they have to say because apparently they were involved in as well. Like they knew all kinds of people are resigning. It's just crazy, guys. It's completely scam, and just complete chaos. So again, be careful with all that, and we'll have to let the dust settle. Obviously, it'll get back to normal, but you see that it all started with the Melania Trump coins and all that. So considering that Trump's pro crypto, they pretty much screwed it up. And like I said, I don't know if it was necessarily him, but his kids were definitely involved. I mean, his one kid was just saying to buy Ethereum, like they didn't know Solana was going to be going down. I mean, what the hell is going on here? So it's definitely crazy, guys, and they're making all kinds of money and just scamming people left and right. So beware, beware, beware in that whole space. And you guys know I lead you down the right path. I did the experiments and spelled it out a week ago. So there you go. You guys know who actually tells what's going on and points it out with no problem. Not Portnoy. He's not being honest at all. Taking 5 million in coin, got scammed, calls it out because he got scammed. That's not how it works, dude. You just scammed a bunch of people. I'm telling you, he's losing all of his credibility if he ever had any, and he's going to lose his entire fan base because he is doing some shady shit right there. So just, and you guys know I call it how it is, and I'm pretty much pretty accurate. I'm telling you what's going to happen. I mean, you can't do things like that. He thinks it's funny, and he's like, oh, you guys are trenchers, and you guys are all know that you're in the. He doesn't even understand what the hell's going on, and he must be a complete moron. So there you go with that. And yeah, we did our crypto, so that's just blown apart because these idiots are just scamming each other like morons. And again, yeah, he makes a coin called Greed 2 or whatever and pulls the rug on that. It was insane what was going on today, guys. It's just completely chaotic. So just watch it and get entertainment out of it, and we'll see if there's any repercussions. Because, like I said, what they're doing is like literally it's definitely illegal. And so yeah, you would never. I'll tell you what, I get a ton of messages now, people asking me to like promote coins and help push this along, and I'm like, I don't even respond. I'm like, I only believe in things that I believe in, so that's why you're only going to hear me say things that I think are very honest in what I believe in. So, and look where we're at. Zach hasn't sold any of the coins. He can't help that. It's pulling back because Solana's caught up in a scam. But yeah, that thing's only going to go up as soon as everything, the dust settles and you can start pumping it up. People are going to gravitate towards that because they know that it's not going down. It's not getting the rug pulled. And he did it with Farcoin and made it huge. So he'll make this one big. And I'm gonna make sure I get over 1 million coins now since it's way down. And so yeah, I believe in it. And like I said, I plan on seeing it like get cruising in the summertime, not obviously not overnight. And then yeah, it'll be a beauty, I can tell you that. So I am accumulating it and I do believe in it. And like I said, the rest of them are just fly-by scams for the most part. And so you got to be really, really careful. But there is a market for it, clearly, but there can't be a market for the scam. So it has to go away, and it will. And they're getting exposed right now, and that's good. So there you go with that. And then our stories, our Asian stocks stutter as Trump's tariff vows weigh. I don't even know. Asian stocks drop after Trump proposes new tariffs. I thought he was going to say that it was like reciprocal the other day. Didn't he post that? And now all of a sudden there's new tariffs. Like every day it's something new going on. It's kind of bizarre. Protests, Musk's tanking popularity hits Tesla at a bad time, and Dow ends higher, and Intel shares rally, and 20 stock companies expected to put up numbers to back investors, but we don't look at any of that crap, so who cares? And let me take a look and see what's going on the scanner, and we'll see if anything grabs our attention right here. Let me take a look real quick. Obviously, our ADTX, yeah, KWE, that one was rolled up there, and that's at Mike. That's at K West, at Aerospace and Defense in Canada. So that's up there. Intel, Nvidia. What's this one? PRPH Prophase Labs. That one's trying to curl up there, and that DGLY. And how about this one? We looked at it the other day. Remember that CGBS? We were just looking at it the other day, and that one ran up today and is looking pretty good. So I had that on the list. ALLO, that B hat was actually down a little bit, still pulling back. That SRM was up. RX popped up, but I wouldn't chase it. And that CNSP, let's look at it. That one kind of looks like it might want to do something here. Yeah, take a look at this. It ran up Friday. It's trying to run back up today. Maybe it'll get up into the top. Archer was running up. That's at Aerospace and Defense. And Plug's trying to get set up. We were looking at that before. And I will look at, like I said, that RGTI. Them ones are down kind of, but I'll take a quick look at them. What was Tilray? Tilray was down. That edible was up a little bit. I know we looked at it, I think, in the pre-market or something. Walgreens is up. I talked about that today on Small Cap Show, and what an amazing turnaround that was. Holy cow, I'm telling you. In December, I was talking about it going bankrupt, and all of a sudden they're trying to sell it to a private equity firm, and now all of a sudden it's at $11 and looking good. I don't know what the hell they did. I have no idea. I don't look into it, but they definitely turned that shit around real quick. I can tell they must be listening to the show because I mean, I literally just said it and then it did it. It was nuts. Just like Ethereum took over Solana after I did that rant. That they were doing terrible, and then like the next day they just changed around. It was pretty wild. So you guys know we're pretty accurate with things, and I'm telling you what's going on, and it's wild what goes on in these meme coins right now. But anyway, don't get involved in them. We'll smack all these stocks out the park. We'll pick our best opportunities. And again, I pivot with everything. We can hit anything that has a chart, doesn't matter. You guys saw what we did during the election. I mean, we tore apart the popular vote and all of them. We went through that, did a whole show and nailed them 100% accurate. So give me a chart that I like and we'll nail it. So yeah, we just hit all the ones that are running right here in the market, pop them up and not worry about all the chaos going on. Let me just look at stock twits and then I'll look at see what the messages are because I almost just stopped and didn't even look at them. So let me just see what stock twits is doing real quick. CELH, that one was actually moving in the after hours, I believe. Let's look at it. CELH. Yeah, it was moving up there, and it does look really good. Keep an eye on that tomorrow. And that GRRR, that thing, that Gorilla one, just keeps on rolling there. And we definitely looked at that one for the first couple pop ups. And today it was just kind of running around, but it looks like it ran back up in the after hours. So keep an eye on that. And let's see. Boom, we already know about them. UNG, let's see what that's doing here. That's United States Natural Gas Fund. That's run up $1.30. It looks like it's trying to get up into the top. We'll have to look at it. It's an ETF oh, excuse me, it's an ETF right there. And Boyle and Coal, let's look at that one. Boyle is up like 922 today. It's getting up into the top. It was at like $83, and cold is like way down there, and it could be hitting that bottom at like 21. Remember these things when we were talking about them and we said they were going to get warm and cold was going to get chilly? Well, we weren't kidding. I mean, that was a huge drastic change. We're talking about like we're talking about like from the 70s to the 20s on cold, and we're talking about like what on Boyle, because Boyle did warm up there. Boyle's in the 80s, and this thing was down in like the 30s and stuff. So I remember we looked at it when it was splitting. So it was definitely down here because it's split and then the post split. So yeah, it went from like 30 to 83. And we were definitely looking at that. So there you go with Boyle and cold. And there you go with them bad boys. And that's what's on Stock Twits right there. Let me take a look and see what you guys want to see, of course. Let's see, INTC. Let's see that one. XOS. We did them guys right there. Let me take a look and see if I missed anything. Gold and GCG. Let's look. Is that that's not canopy growth. That's CGC. Oh yeah, canopy growth. I was reading it wrong. CGC, you got it. Canopy growth it is. Let's see what that one's up to. That one looks like it's just kind of pulling back a little bit. We'll see when that one hits down here and bottoms out. It'll get bouncing back up. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And our SPY right there. Yeah, you know that's going to keep going up. Titan Builder, you're welcome. Mentioning AIM. You got it with the bird flu. Yup, that's what that one was. I forgot. But SMCI and INTC. What's DNUT? I forget what that is. DNUT is Krispy Kreme. There you go. Oh yeah, that looks really good. And that looks as good as their donuts right now. Krispy Kreme's looking really healthy right there. DNUT, guys. So keep an eye on that. Popped up a little bit today, but looking pretty good for some Krispy Kreme donuts. And let's see what else is going on here. Your Dow, your Bear 500, you have, yeah, that one is going down. Your SPXS is, kind of going down at the moment. So, you know, it's going to bottom out there and things will change around. Let's see what, Luis Rodriguez has to say right here. DXCM filling a gap right there. Let's take a look at that. DXCM, Dexcom. Oh, yeah, that looks really good. Luis Rodriguez, I like that. DX. CM looking good for tomorrow. I agree. And did they just have their earnings February 13th, so last week? So yeah, that one looks pretty nice, I would have to say. And caught it. Yeah, we were talking about that on November 18th at 76.27. It's in the 90s. So there you go. I would say we caught that early, Luis Rodriguez, and I remember that for sure. Oh yeah, BlackBerry's still going wild. Remember we were talking about that at the beginning, saying what the hell are they up to? And look at this thing just going wild, guys. So BlackBerry's still running up there, and we were definitely talking about that one for sure. And that was good old BlackBerry. And yeah, that true TRUG, we covered that. GCL, you have to look at that to see what it wants to run up in the morning. Again, it's that shell company. You have to make sure it gets through that MACD tomorrow morning right there. And we can take a look. The overnight, that Celsius, CELH, and GDS is up. SMCI, LI. FLCN and OSCR and ASX. I'll retweet them guys. You can take a look at them bad boys, but they're your top overnight traders. And let's see, SMH. What's SMH? Let's look at that. Oh, that's that Van. I say that. Do I say that every single time? What's that SMH? And it's the Van Eck, the semiconductor. And like we were talking about, it's up 364 today, moving. So we nailed that one. MDB is I know we looked at this recently. I can't think of the name of it. Mongo, that's it. MongoDB. And that thing's been running up, guys, and it's up $8 today to 298. We were super early on that. And honestly, it looks like it could be cruising tomorrow too. MDB. Take a look at that tomorrow as well because it could be rolling up even higher. And we were super early on the good old MongoDB right there. And let's see. WTO, we looked at that. That could be trying to get curled back up. Like I said, them small cap China ones are definitely an interesting one right there. And let's see what else. And yeah, that was at FXI. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel, because I couldn't think of that one. And cool. Trades and Gains, how are you? Yeah, Trades and Gains does a great show at night. He does the he calls out all them fake coins and stuff too. It's great. So if you guys are up late and like meme coins and stuff like that, Trades and Gains is usually on there. He has a pretty big audience on with him, and chills out to some music and talks about different stocks and meme coins. I pop in there. It's a little late for me sometimes. I like to pass out. I do some stuff after the show and then I kind of pass out and get ready for tomorrow. But definitely, if you guys are up, you can check him out. Good dude. I talked to him and yeah, definitely does a lot of good stuff there. Microsoft, huge spike volume at 358. So you got to check that out. But I agree. I'm definitely with you. If it pulls back a little bit, definitely want to add because it's looking really good to get curled up. And it did. It looked really, really good at the very end of the day there, Luis Rodriguez. I did notice that myself because I was sitting there staring at it like, man, that thing looks great. And then all of a sudden it just got really good. So I think it is going to be really cruising. How about Grab? We were talking about grabbing some of them, and that was up 40 cents today. So that was a pretty good one. It is hitting it is hitting the resistance up there at about 552. So you have to be careful, but it is looking pretty good, I must say. GRAB, let me just look at that. And it has that crazy look because you know why? It closed and opened in the same price range. 547 ran up to 570, but then it closed at what 54 wait hold on 547 and it closed at 548, so it opened and closed right there. It does look good. I just don't know if it's going to pull back tomorrow to get set up to bounce up higher, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. And that TTOO, we were talking about that yesterday. They're having a buyout because remember it like stopped on Finviz or something, yeah, like February 11th, and then on Mayan it was still running, I believe, and it does look really good right there. And yeah, today's date it went from 6 to 12 and it closed at 10. Remember we were looking at it yesterday, I was saying it looked like it almost bottomed out, but I didn't know what the hell was going on because it stopped on Finviz. Um 5 vet is saying that there's a buyout coming, so I'm not sure what's going on with it, but I was just talking about it yesterday. And Grab earnings tomorrow. So yeah, Grab, they have their earnings. I didn't even notice that. I don't see the earnings tomorrow, but maybe they do. I just don't see it on here. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on that Grab, see if there's anything going on. And there you go. Let me take a look and see. Um CHSN, the OCEA, WISA, we looked at that DVLT, CDT, I think we looked at that. Let me make sure, Barb. I don't remember if we looked at Conduit Pharmaceuticals. Oh, yeah, I think we might have actually. Just hitting that bottom right there. That could be a nice little pop up coming up right there on CDT and that FBGL. Let's take a look at that and see what that's. Oh, that's that new one. I'm telling you, this thing's looking pretty good all of a sudden. And up 6 cents right there. FBGL. Definitely take a look at that one in the morning. FBGL. It was kind of, it ran up what, Friday, it ran up to that 179 and then today 117 to 130 and it closed at 120. It is looking pretty good right there. And I think we did get all of them, I believe, and made some nice profit off that ADTX. There you go. I told you it would run 100%, guys, and it did. And it may run up some more tomorrow. You might have a nice little pop up tomorrow on ADTX. You might see in the morning at OCEA. And we already looked at that one first thing, and that is looking pretty good. Like I said, it's in a great spot, looking really good right there, Titan Builder. And there you go. I think I got everything else there. And yeah, GCL, like I said, you're going to have to look at that tomorrow, see if it can cross through. And boom, there you go. I think that's everything right there. I believe I got everybody, and we'll cover it if we didn't get it tonight. We'll see it at 7 a.m. tomorrow because we'll be going over everything. So, yeah, I'd say that's a pretty solid market review right there. And I think we're going to have a lot of great more opportunities. So, we'll keep crushing them and hitting our best opportunities right there. So, we will definitely go over them tomorrow morning. I think Microsoft and might be one of our better ones. IBM. We'll see if that gets in the top tomorrow. I know we were talking about the other day and it's already run up, but if it gets into the top, it's going to run some more. And there's a few other ones that are looking really good. So we'll go through them in the morning, see what's going on. Keep an eye on that ADTX, see if it wants to run up some more and what else is going to be popping. So there you go, everybody, for our market review right there. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. I greatly appreciate it as always. And thanks, Laptop Travel, for all your help and everybody else that sends stuff in. Luis Rodriguez, Doge Mama, Jay Kratz, and who else? Rich and Bongpri Chan. And there's BAM Trading, Investment, Stuff Trading, and Not Your Father. There you go. Lee B, Zach, and everybody else that was on there. I greatly appreciate it. I know there was a bunch of people on before, and everyone that checks out the replays. I greatly appreciate it. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to see in the morning. If we want to look at anything in particular, we'll be on. Hopefully, crypto will change around. I think the dust has to settle, guys. There's a lot of craziness going on there, and scams are never a good thing. That's why you always got to be open and honest about it all, and just not get involved in stuff like that. It never works out. I don't know what people think. I don't understand. I talk about it all the time. How much money do these people really need? And clearly, it's just people's brains are just like convoluted. It's wild what they think. So, it always gets exposed, especially in today's day and age. And these wallets, you can follow and track like almost everything. What are you gonna have? 55 wallets? Somebody will sit there and follow it. Trust me, they have nothing better to do all day than to follow what you have to do, what you're doing if you're scamming people. And I don't blame them. So, yeah, you just can't get involved in things like that. It's not worth it. It's not worth your reputation or anything. And you guys know I created the two coins, told you all about it, never sold one, and did it as an experiment. And so you guys could trade without worrying about the rug getting pulled. And I know a bunch of people were making money on Rig the first night and on Cupid 69 during the Valentine's Day weekend. So you can just swap them coins out. And again, if you just want to trade on Rig to get ahead, but if you have the Cupid 69, just swap that out and get some Solana back or whatever. And like I say, buy the ETF 500 while it's low. Zach's going to be pumping it up and he's going to do his thing. He's not pulling the rug, and he's been buying more as it's down, and so am I. So I believe it'll be pretty big, and I think it might take by the summertime, but I'm perfectly fine with that. We're always 3 months early for everything, so 3 months go by really, really fast, and it could be life changing for you. So there you go, everybody. That's my market review for tonight. Hope that helped. And again, we'll be on at 7 a.m. with our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns, our crypto, our SPY, and everything else that's going to be popping. We'll see what's going to be happening and get our best opportunities. So there you go, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll catch you guys in the morning.